What's up, everybody? It's the Power Rankings Podcast, aka the Power Rankings Show. I'm your host, Elliot Harrison. I'm joined by Marcus Mosher, who I really wish you guys, well, you see Marcus on Twitter, and he's always promoting his Locked On Cowboys podcast. There were about 10 retweets of that yesterday. And I'm sure you guys are all wondering, what about that other podcast that he does, the Power Rankings one? And I wonder that too, guys. But, I come on today and, I'm ready to do a great pick show. And Marcus just starts in on me. So it's bad enough he promotes his other work. He starts in on me. And it's just been, it's already been one of those kind of mornings, And as you all know, of course, I've been very supportive of his work. So with that, I present Marcus Mosher. How are you?
Are you done? Are you good?
Yeah, I think Okay. I think I got it out of my system.
You sound like me whining about officials. I'm just putting that out there.
Oh man.
I'm better now. We're not gonna do that today. Don't worry.
Your tweets about the latest crew and oh my, you guys should see this. If y'all don't follow Marcus will tweet something like the Cowboys have, Jack Hallenstaff calling the game this week. Did you know that Jack Hallenstaff has called more penalties against the Cowboys over the last 12 and a half years than anyone else? And he gets 1 million likes because all the Cowboy fans that whine about the officiating love it. Yeah.
It's called
some of which are our listeners. Right? Huh?
It's called playing to your base.
Playing to the base. Yes. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Right. So let's just be honest. He's covering for him being nervous that somebody's going to lose outright this week.
Yeah, I'm really nervous. We should start right there,
to
right?
Cowboy fans. Yeah, we should. It's Thursday night game, so let's hear the lines, my man. I don't know any of them.
Yeah, so a lot of line movement on this one. So the Cowboys play the Saints on Thursday Night Football. This line started at 4.5 for the Cowboys, moved up to 5.5 when I sent over the lines to the lovely Courtney. And by the time that we started this podcast, it's already up to 6.5. I think that's too many points, Elliot. What do you think?
6.5?
It's way too many.
Sorry, I got to mute my Star Trek The Next Generation. It was a really good episode.
Such a nerd.
My remote won't reach this far. I'm trying. Well, doggone it. Maybe if I just shut it off. Will it shut off from here?
Would you like me to talk about this game as you're talking about Star Trek?
Well, it was a good episode. It's where Commander Riker kind of has his authority challenged by someone that wants his job on the ship. I think 6.5 points is a little bit rich, man. I think it's a lot rich. I'm quite frankly, I'm shocked by this. I mean, tell me how the Cowboys win this game. Let's start there.
Well,
I think the line. How do they win at all?
I mean, I'm not that down on the Cowboys that they can't win this game, but it's just you have to win this on defense, right? The Saints are so banged up in this one. Taysom Hill is starting, no Alvin Kamara. Both their starting offensive tackles are out, and actually one of their backups is out as well. The defense is missing a lot of guys, not to mention Michael Thomas, who's been out for the entire year, Adam Troutman, their tight end. The Cowboys, if they're going to win this game, they got to hold the Saints to like 17 or fewer points. I think that's how you go about winning this one.
But we were expecting Alvin Kamara to play.
Yeah.
So, and that's not the deal now. So, look, I'm not afraid to take the Cowboys on the road here. Truthfully, part of me is giving you a hard time here, but the Saints defense is absolutely better than the Cowboys. They are fundamentally better than the Cowboys. They haven't gotten the big plays the Cowboys have. Dallas's takeaways have allowed them to not give up as many points as you would think, because the Cowboys are like 26th in yards allowed. Mm-hmm. However, the Saints just at all three levels, I think, are more consistent. They're a better team. I will say they have not played. They're a better team defensively. They haven't played as well at home as you would think. One of their home games is a misnomer because that game was in Jacksonville against the Green Bay Packers week 1. So have you been a little bit surprised by the inconsistency of the defense, or do you think it's the offense missing Jameis Winston and it's spilling over the defense being on the field? What do you think?
I think it's that. We saw the Giants go in there and put up 500 yards of offense against a pretty healthy Saints defense. Now, they didn't have Marshawn Lattimore in this game. I still think the Cowboys should be able to move the ball, but it's not going to be easy. Like, they're not going to put up 35 points in this game and just walk the ball up and down the field. I think this is a game that's going to be close for 3 or 4 quarters. I think it comes down to the last drive. I probably would just stay away from these games because I stay away from all Thursday night games because they're just weird.
I would too, but not just Thursday night. You have a new starter at quarterback for the Saints. Yep. You have a Cowboys coaching staff ransacked by COVID. Amari Cooper was supposed to be back, but he hasn't played. Michael Gallup has been okay since coming back. I just don't know how you can do that with any sense of confidence, how you can lay money down on this game. I would say the Cowboys by 3. I don't even want to know the over-under because I wouldn't bet on the over-under at all. So there we go. Next
46.5. It's pretty high for Taysom Hill. All right, next game. It's the Buccaneers and the Falcons. We've already seen this game once this year. The Buccaneers and Falcons were close, and then they blew them out by 23 points. But the Bucs are 11-point road favorites in this one.
Yeah, actually, the Falcons, though, showed a lot of grit in that game.
It was a 3-point game with 10 minutes left.
You know, I know you're a big Cordero Patterson guy. If I'm if I'm Trevor Simeon's agent, you're definitely Cordero Patterson's.
I'll take it. That's fine. Fine with me.
This is going to be his toughest matchup of the season. The Falcons have been leaning on him. It's going to be really hard to do it against this football team. That line, though, once again, awfully large for a team that was down by 10 last week. I know it was to the Colts, and we have seen the Bucs struggle at times this year to play up to their potential.
It's basically, do you think Tampa Bay is going to win by 2 touchdowns? And I do. I know the Falcons got a win last week against Jacksonville, but that was not the most convincing win in the world. I think Tom Brady is going to have, I'm going to call this his MVP game, where he just comes out. It's 5 or 6 touchdowns. It's a bunch of yards. I think this is a huge game for Tampa Bay. All right, next one.
Do you not want my pick, or do you just see that?
You just said Tampa Bay, right? I can just tell in your voice that you're taking Tampa Bay here.
No, it's actually, I think this is going to be a Falcons game. I think this is where Matt Ryan makes his MVP push down the backstretch of the season. Let's go Tampa Bay.
Yeah, so Elliott's taking Tampa Bay as well.
Yeah.
Cardinals Bears. Cardinals 7.5-point favorites on the road.
Yeah, once again, a very high line, especially with a quarterback that hasn't played. But the Bears have been awful, speaking of quarterback. So really the quarterback situation is messy for both of these teams. Really, you've got the Cardinals, Kyler Murray hasn't played. You have the Bears, Justin Fields been hurt. We saw Andy Dalton go in, and I don't know what your assessment was of his play against the Lions.
It was fine.
There were nice throw to Mooney, decent plays, but also some typical Bears offense stuff. A lot of history in this game, by the way. This is they are who we thought they were game.
Yes,
first of all, from one of the greatest regular season games ever from 2006, when Denny Green just had, maybe him and Jim Mora have the 2 best post-game rants probably ever. Ever.
I would agree with you. So what's your pick of this one?
I'm gonna take the Cardinals. I don't like the Bears. Can't trust their offense at all. Give me the Cardinals.
I agree with you. Cardinals coming off a bye week. I think Kyler's going to be back. I think Hopkins is going to be back. This is just a team that's on a mission to be the number 1 seed. I don't think they slip up here, so I'm taking the Cardinals as well.
Do you know a fun fact about this team, or would you like to know a fun fact about this matchup?
Always.
These 2 teams were in the same city for years.
Mm-hmm.
So the NFL started in 1920. The Chicago Cardinals had already been around for 22 years. And the Bears were a brand new team. They were the Decatur Staleys. These teams played each other in Chicago for 40 years. The Cardinals were on the south side, and it used to be kind of a rivalry. Then the Bears started beating up on them. Of course, it's the Cardinals, right?
Yep.
And then in 1960, they moved. But here's the really fun fact for you. They moved to St. Louis, but a guy wanted to buy the team. It was Lamar Hunt. He wanted to buy the team. He got turned down. So he started the American Football League. If he hadn't gotten turned down, if he was able to buy it from the Waffner family in Chicago, we would not have an AFC. How about that?
It's fantastic. It's a great little nugget there, Elliot. I like it.
It impacts your picks. Keep going.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Cardinals. All right, next one. You know how we have like these Elliot Harrison specials where they're just awful games?
Yeah.
This is a Marcus Mosher special. This is one where I'm going to watch every single second of it. It's the Los Angeles Chargers against the Cincinnati Bengals, a 1 p.m. kickoff. So the Chargers coming West Coast to East Coast. The Chargers are only a 3-point underdog in this game.
And I'll take the Bengals to cover that. Although wouldn't this be so Chargers to go in there?
That's exactly what I'm thinking. This is so Chargers. You lose.
Is this a stay away? Is this a stay away game?
No, I don't think so, because I really like the way the Bengals have been playing lately. They've been running the ball with Joe Mixon. They've been forcing teams to basically play a cover 2 against them because of their receivers. And the defense is healthy. Like, this is the first time we've seen this defense pretty healthy. I do think I like the Bengals to cover this spread.
Let's talk over under for this game, because the Bengals defense has played well. The Chargers are hit or miss. I'm going to say it's 48.5, but I might be low.
You are a little low. It's 50.5. And I really like the over in this one. I think the Bengals are going to put up 30 points in this game. The Chargers' run defense is awful. Their cornerback situation is not good to begin with. And then Asante Samuel Jr. is still out with a concussion. That's a problem when you're going up against 2 skyscrapers in Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. I think this is a game where the Bengals score 30, the Chargers score 24, 27, and we hit the over.
I'll take the Bengals because it's not 3.5. I'm going to avoid the over under. And by the way, more history here. This is the 40th anniversary of the second coldest game in NFL history. It's called the Freezer Bowl. They played in the AFC Championship in Cincinnati, and the wind chill was like minus 50 something. Dan Fouts couldn't even throw the ball. Really, really famous game. Okay, what's next?
Vikings and Lions. Vikings 7-point favorites on the road.
Vikings really need to be careful here. Really need to be careful. This is one of the games that I kind of circled that the Lions could win. You may not be feeling me. I think the Vikings, I don't want to see them try to air it out. I don't, because if Kirk Cousins comes out and he highballs it like he did at the end of the 49ers game, you can beat the Lions just running the football and playing it conservative. The only way they're going to win is takeaways, but I have a bad feeling about this game.
Yeah, see, I don't. I think this is a game the Vikings win, and they win pretty easily. I think this is going to be a good Kirk Cousins game. I know Dalvin Cook is out, and I wonder if that's actually going to help them in this game, because the Lions secondary is not good. I think Justin Jefferson should have a big game. And then on top of that, no DeAndre Swift this week for the Lions. How are they going to generate offense?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
I want to see Alexander Madison run 25 times for 61 yards. Just a lousy game. I don't care. I just want him to get carries. I want them to do play action. I don't want Kirk Cousins dropping back to pass 45 times, because that's the way the Lions are going to win this game. I'm telling you, this game is scary. I think this game is going to be closer. Ain't no way I'm taking the Vikings. I'm avoiding this like the plague.
All right, next one. Giants and Dolphins. Giants 4-point road underdogs. And I got to admit, Elliot, I love the Dolphins here.
Oh, boy. Okay, last week, you convinced me not to pick Carolina, and you're like, Miami's going to get manhandled at the line of scrimmage.
They made me a believer. Let's just say
and now you're like, yeah, whatever. It's right, Courtney. Make those looks. Please do. Okay. Hey, these two teams are hot, right? The Giants have won 3 out of 5. That's hot for them. And the Dolphins have won 4 in a row.
I think the Dolphins are going to win like 7 in a row because their schedule is really favorable. They've got a bunch of home games coming
with you on that.
Okay. We'll see. With you. I like the Dolphins here. I just don't see any way the Giants generate offense with Daniel Jones likely not playing due to a neck injury. It's going to be Mike Glennon starting. That does hurt. The offensive line already isn't good for the Giants, but at least Daniel Jones is athletic and kind of get outside the pocket. I just think the Dolphins are going to have a field day in this one.
And they're not getting anything from Saquon. You know, it's unfortunate. I don't know what else to say about it, because I think the guy's a great player. I don't know if it's a bad fit at this point, if he's not the same guy because of the injuries, Marcus, but there's been so much focus on Christian McCaffrey being, injury prone. And, but Saquon Barkley was better than Christian McCaffrey coming out. He was better. And, I say you make a look. Do you not agree with me on that?
It doesn't matter, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. Here we go. All right. Right. I don't want to hear your theory about that for the 100th time. So go ahead. You're right. I'm taking Miami. I'm with you on that. Okay. And let's move on.
All right.
No running backs don't matter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eagles, Jets. Eagles 7-point road favorites over the Jets.
Speaking of that, the Eagles ran for like 2 bills last week against the Giants and didn't win, which is incredible. And the problem was red zone giveaways. 3 really bad Jalen Hurts interceptions. 2, I think, were in the red zone. 1 was in a goal-to-goal situation. I really want to take the Jets in an upset here. Go ahead. Go ahead. I know you're going to.
No, I'm not. And the reason why is just the Eagles are so much better on both the offensive line and defensive line.
That's the problem.
I
winning at the point of attack.
I don't see a way that Zach Wilson doesn't have at least a few turnovers in this game. They're going to pressure him all game long. I'm taking the Eagles here.
And even more importantly, I think that pressure is going to come right up the middle in his face, which is going to be a lot more difficult for him to deal with. The Eagles are favored by 7. If they win by 7, it's a push. You're fine. I think it's safe to take Philly in this.
It does feel a little high. Like if this was 6.5, I would be pounding the Eagles all day. 7's probably the right number here. So I agree with you.
Although the over-under should be low on this, Marcus. This is not going to be – I don't see this being a 28-24 game or anywhere even close to that. I'm going to guess the over-under on this game is 42.5.
45, so a little higher than you think.
That's a little high.
Maybe the under is the good bet here. Because I agree.
I think so. You hate the under too.
I think a 24-17 game seems about right.
I do too. So I would take the under and the Eagles to cover, whichever. Actually, I would take the under because it's more fun, but Marcus says it's not
more fun.
Okay.
Next one, Colts and Texans. This is the game that we were actually talking about pre-show. Colts 10-point favorites here on the road.
Okay. First of all, I'll take the Colts. Second of all, if the Texans win, yay, 2-4-6-8, yay, good for them. Hot dogs, apple pie. It doesn't matter. 3, if the Colts are smart, they're going to go in there and Jonathan Taylor's going to run 30 times for 161 yards and 3 tugs because the Texans can't stop the run. They're 31st in the league. They make up for it by being 31st in rushing touchdowns allowed. They make up for that by being 24th in rushing average allowed. Forget it.
Yeah, I agree with you, but that's why I'm taking the Texans here. I think.
Oh, come on.
Just the points. A 10-point home underdog. Big. Especially in a divisional game. Divisional games are weird.
You want me to say stay away for every game? That wouldn't be any fun.
No. Yeah. I'm just taking the Texans plus 10 points here because I do think this game is going to be close for a while. I think Tyrod and Brandon Cooks are going to make enough plays. I just envision a game that's, let's say 28-20, and it's really never all that close. It's the outcome's never really in danger, but something like that.
To pull the curtain back a little bit, though, you enjoy the idea of doing a parlay or a teaser and packaging some games together. I'm a pick one game that you really, really trust guy, and that's it.
Yeah, we're going to get there. I think that's a game, though. That's way too many points for a team that's so inconsistent like the Colts are. And I think Tyrod is a competent NFL quarterback. So if this game is 28-10, with 5 minutes left, could I see Tyrod putting up 2 late touchdowns and covering the spread? Absolutely. Sure. That's why I'm staying away. All right, next one. Washington against the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, the Raiders played on Thursday. The Washington football team played a Monday night game, so some unequal rest here for both of these teams. Washington, 2.5-point road underdogs.
Curious.
Basically tells you that odds makers believe the Raiders and the Washington football team are close, and maybe even on a neutral field, Washington would be favored.
It's putting a lot of faith in Taylor Heineke. Antonio Gibson played a heck of a game last week. Will he do it again? I do think you can run on the Raiders, even though the Cowboys, well, we won't talk about that game. By the way, I noticed something that you did here. You talk about the Raiders rest, but you didn't talk about the Lions rest at all, which is one of the reasons I'm concerned about the Vikings this week. They played that emotional game that they lost at the end, and the Lions have rest, but that's all right. We don't have to circle back to that.
Well, it's because Washington played on a Monday night, though. It's a little different than a Sunday afternoon.
That's true. I got the Raiders by a field goal, my man.
I think I like Washington here. No Darren Waller this week due to a knee injury. Deshaun Jackson's dealing with a calf injury. I just don't trust the Raiders offensive line against Washington's defensive line. I know Chase Young is out. I know Montez Sweat is out, but Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, both of those guys are really good. I think this is going to be a really close game, and I'll just take the 2.5 points because I don't feel great about either side.
I'm just saying that I would take the Raiders. I mean, there's no way I would bet on this game. Okay. There's no way.
A game that I would bet on here, the Jacksonville Jaguars against the Los Angeles Rams. Jaguars, 13-point road underdogs.
Hey, get excited. It's the Jalen Ramsey revenge game.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So I think this is a week that the Rams turn it back on. Yeah. I'm taking the Rams to cover that score. I don't think the Rams are as bad as they've looked. And I do like the way the Jags defense has played. I know they gave up some early scores to Atlanta last week, but then they tightened up. It's the offense that's such a concern. What are the Jags going to do on the Rams?
Nothing.
Javon Austin revenge game, buddy.
No, yeah, you get a little bit of 2016 first round action with Laquan Treadwell on Jalen Ramsey. That should be a lot of fun.
Courtney's bored out of her mind on this game. Bored out of her absolute mind.
Wouldn't be surprised if Rams win this one by 20. Can we move on?
You want to do the lock graphic just for fun so Courtney doesn't look bored over
No, because my lock graphic is the next one.
Oh, all right. Cool. Yeah, what's next?
Ravens, 4.5-point road favorites over the Steelers.
Yeah, and you're taking the Steelers to cover that.
I am.
You're picking the Steelers to lose by like 1 point. I know you or a field goal.
That's a lock for me. I'm taking the Steelers here. Elliot, how many games have the Ravens played this year where they win by a field goal or less against even lesser teams? Now you're asking them to go on the road on a short week, kind of. They played on Sunday Night Football against a team that absolutely needs a win. I just don't see any way that this is a field goal game or less.
That line, I would be inclined to say Pittsburgh here. I don't think the Steelers are going to win, though. I think this is another game that Lamar Jackson pulls a rabbit out of the hat at the end of the game. Justin Tucker trots on the field. The announcers are going to talk about how this end of the stadium is so hard to kick in and how they're playing the Styx song again, which Styx, by the way, very underrated band. Marcus, they were a 70s, 80s band.
Renegade, it's a song. Yeah, it's a very overrated song. But
Mr. Roboto was that was the problem. They went way too much into synth, and they did like rock opera basically in their concerts, and people were out there wanting to see Sammy Hagar, rock it out. So that's kind of what happened to Styx.
Did you know that there was a stretch for
segue?
Yeah, like 11 straight times the opponent scored when the Steelers played that Renegade song. It was basically doing the opposite of the intended goal. But go ahead.
That's too bad. That's why they should have played too much time on my hands, because the offense was time of possession was so high. Dad joke alert.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm with you on this. I'm not with you that Pittsburgh wins, but I am with you that I don't like this line for Baltimore. I think Baltimore by 3. And this is a low scoring game, dude.
I don't know if Pittsburgh wins this game or not. I just don't see any way that it's not a field goal game. We've seen this Steeler Ravens game and throughout history, this always comes down to the final possession. And a lot of times it comes down to the final play. I don't think this one is any different.
No, the highest possible score this game will be is 23-20. That's the highest.
I agree.
So if the over under is 43.5 or higher, I say take the under all day on it.
I could see a 24-20 game, and that's why this line is sitting at 44.
Yeah, I'm taking the under on that. I love the under.
I kind of agree with you. Although Pittsburgh's run defense has been really bad over the last 2 weeks. They're just getting absolutely shredded. TJ Watt on the COVID list, I would say there's a pretty good chance he's going to miss. Robert Spillane, one of their inside linebackers, is going to miss this game due to COVID. The Ravens might be able to just run the ball down their throats, but we'll see.
You were telling me we have a lot of Texans that listen to our podcast.
Yeah.
So 42 that's a big time dominoes game in Texas. Betting the under is like going 42 low. It annoys everyone. Everyone gets exasperated by it, but you win, bro. You win. Okay,
all right. Our next game, 49ers and Seahawks. 49ers, 3.5-point road favorites in this one.
That 3.5 points, I always hate it. This is a division game. I don't think Seattle can save their season, but I still think that organization has a lot of pride. I don't think Russell Wilson can be this bad again. They have too many good players, but the 49ers are playing good football right now. And after seeing the way Antonio Gibson ran on them and McKissick, what are the 49ers going to do? This is one I would stay away from, Marcus.
I agree with you. It's a stay away for a couple different reasons. Divisional games are weird, especially when you're playing on the road. No Deebo Samuel this week, and he makes a big difference for this
for a couple of weeks now. It's a groin injury. Who knows when he comes back?
he just does so much for this offense in terms of being a running back, a receiver, blocking. I don't know if they can replicate his production, so I am staying away as well. All right, our Sunday night game, it's a somewhat important AFC matchup. It's the Denver Broncos against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Broncos are 9.5-point road underdogs. And Elliot, if the Broncos win this game, do you know they'll be leading the AFC West after 13 weeks?
I think that line is too high, Marcus. I really do. I get it. People don't see the 10. Our minds do little tricky things to us. We don't see the 10. We see the 9.5. That's why the grocery store always does what they do with their pricing, right? That's why it's always $9.95 and not $10. Same thing here. No way I'm going to take Kansas City here. I think Kansas City wins this game outright, but the same stuff we just said about Seattle, San Francisco, although Denver's not the Broncos are not a desperate team like the Seahawks are. However, it's a division game. Their defense has played very well. We have seen Kansas City be maddeningly inconsistent.
Sure. Yeah.
And the only way I would take Kansas City here to cover that is if I had tremendous faith in a defense that's allowed 10 points per game over the last 3 weeks. I don't have that confidence that they're going to just show up and dominate. So I would be in Kansas City to win outright. I would walk away from this.
Yeah, see, I think I kind of like Kansas City here. We talked about their defense last week, how in the second half of these games, they've just been outstanding. Another thing we didn't talk about enough, though, is Andy Reid coming off a bye. His record is just unbelievable.
Very good.
I think the week off for this veteran team is something they really need. Clyde Edwards-Helaire gets a week off. They're getting Kyle Long back, which is important considering how big their right tackle issue has been this year. I think this is a game where they score 34 points and they win 34-20. So I am taking Kansas City here.
This is a game, though, man, that they need to use Edwards-Helaire because the Broncos have some playmakers back there in that secondary. And if you try to force a ball, especially in too deep to Tyreek Hill, we have seen Patrick Mahomes. We've seen announcers make excuses for him. And I love Patrick Mahomes, but he has thrown some bad balls this year, Marcus. And you cannot do that against this defense. We saw it with Justin Herbert last week. This is a stay away for me. I like Kansas City straight up, though.
I agree. All right. Our Monday Night Football game is an absolutely awesome one. It's the New England Patriots against the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are 3-point home favorites. And Elliot, I could not be more excited for this game. This is incredible.
Yeah, this is the game of the week. This is a really good spread. It's right on the money. I'd be inclined to take New England here, that they're underdogs. Buffalo, it's really hard to lay your money down on Buffalo, Marcus, under any circumstance, right? Part of me feels like the Bills will win this game like 20-19, but they've got some injury problems. Josh Allen has been inconsistent, and New England has been a model of consistency. Am I wrong?
No, because I like New England as well for a bunch of different reasons. New England has the better defense. Tre'Davious White's not playing in this game due to the torn ACL. He'll be out for the rest of the season. It's Bill Belichick.
That's a huge injury, man.
It's a huge injury. And
for the postseason.
You know how much I love talking about kickers. Nick Folk has been incredible for the Bills this year, for the Patriots this year. In that stadium, I have had a lot of faith that he can make some big time kicks.
Oh, come on. He made the biggest kick of his career
on a Monday Night Football game.
Monday Night Football.
Of course. Come on. With the Cowboys. I like the Patriots here. I agree with you. This is going to be a low scoring game. But when it comes down to it, I just don't trust Josh Allen in big games like this. And I trust Bill Belichick. So give me New England.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Can we talk about the last two games here, the over-unders? Kansas City Broncos and Bills Patriots.
Yeah, so the over-under for the Denver-Kansas City game is 47. The over-under for the Patriots-Bills is 43.
Yeah, I definitely like the under for the Patriots-Bills. I think Patriots win that game, the Bills win 20-19. That's how I'm seeing this game. It could go either way, but
it doesn't seem like it's going to be a game where somebody scores 27, 28 points, right? This is going to be a ball control game.
Do you like New England to win straight up?
I do. Yep.
Okay. I like Buffalo to win straight up, but I like the Patriots there to keep it closer than that spread. So 2019 Buffalo. Now, Kansas City Broncos, that over under, I don't think it's going to go higher than that. Do you?
Yeah, I probably
It's a
wouldn't
tough
bet
one
it.
though.
But if we go back to my score prediction, I think 34-20. So yeah, I do. I just think this is the game that Kansas City kind of gets right on offense.
I just don't like the spread or the over under in that game.
That's
But
fine.
I
Just
like it.
stay
I
away.
like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it in Buffalo, New England. I like the under, and I like Buffalo to win by 1, but New England covers that. And there you go. So I think that's all of them, right?
Yeah, let's go through all these games.
Oh, here are the leaf blowers. Can you hear them? Can't hear it.
Fantastic audio right there.
I mean, come on. Like, what's the point of a leaf blower? Please, somebody tweet me and tell me what the point is. You blow your leaves around. Great.
Yeah, but you can blow them into a pile and makes them easier to rake up and get rid
I don't see any circular piles out here. We know what they do. They blow them into the next slot,
Smart.
and they make a horrendous amount of noise. Okay, I'm done. And they're bad for the environment.
All right. As the snowplow truck just drives right by my house right now. All right.
Right.
Let's go through the games. Cowboys, Saints. We both like the Saints to cover the spread. You like the Cowboys to win outright, correct?
I do. Yes.
Bucks, Falcons. We both like the Bucks to win and cover the spread. Cardinals, Bears. We like the Cardinals to win and cover the spread. Chargers, Bengals. This is a kind of a weird game, but I think you and I both like the Bengals to cover the spread, correct?
Yes, I'm muting my microphone because the stupid leaf blowers.
All right. Next game. Vikings, Lions. I like the Vikings to win and cover. You like the Vikings to win, but the Lions to cover. But you said to be careful with the same game.
No, I said stay the heck away. I'm just scared. You're back
scared.
On mute.
Giants, Dolphins. We both like the Dolphins to win and to cover the spread. Eagles, Jets. We both like the Eagles to win and cover the spread, although that one's close because it's 7. Colts, Texans. We both like the Colts to win. I like the Texans to cover the spread. You like the Colts.
And I like the under in the Eagles, Jets.
Yes, Eagles. Yes, okay. Next one, Washington and the Raiders. I like I like Washington to win and cover. You like the Raiders to win and cover, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Jags.
3 on that. That one's a 3-point.
2.5. 2.5.
2.5. Okay, yeah. Take the Raiders by 3. Yep.
All right. Next one, Jags and Rams. We both like the Rams to win and cover. Ravens, Steelers. We both have the Steelers to cover that spread. I think you like the Ravens to win outright. I'm kind of indifferent. I think the Steelers will probably win, but it'll be close. 49ers.
Dude, you are never indifferent about the Steelers. You root against them so hard.
What makes you think about that?
Come on. Stop.
Right, yeah.
You root against the Steelers almost as hard as Sean Hockley. Okay, what's next?
That's good. All right. 49ers, Seahawks. We're both just staying away from this game. It's a weird game. The 49ers should win, but that's not one you want to bet on. Broncos, Chiefs. I like the Broncos to cover the spread, but I like the Chiefs to cover the spread and to win. You think the Broncos are going to keep it within 9.5, but the Chiefs are going to win outright.
I do, but I stay away from this like crazy. I don't like betting on that score or that over-under because I'm going to save it for Monday night.
And then we've got the Patriots, Bills. I like the Patriots to win outright. You like the Bills to win, but the Patriots to cover, but you love the under there.
That is correct.
That's all we've got, Elliot. I will give you the last word on this podcast.
Well, listen, we've got to do our your bet the house and I do my $10,000. Right. But I will tell you, I have a Harrison health hack for you today.
Oh, good. I can't wait.
Has your back been bothering you at all from sitting at computer and working all the time?
It has. Oh, thank you for asking.
Yeah, this sounds like a sponsor read, doesn't it? Don't worry. We're only sponsored by Doug Brood today, my friend Doug's Instagram account about beer. But let me tell you something I hate doing and I've been making myself do lately. Stretch just for 2 minutes. Okay. That's it, fellas and gals. Just stretch. And I'll tell you what it is. It's causing you to feel stiff. It's your hamstrings and your hips. Nobody wants to do it. But if you just get on the floor and stretch your hamstrings, and there's this wonderful rule called the 2-minute rule, that if you just start doing something for 2 minutes, you will probably keep doing it because the biggest, the toughest point of entry in doing any activity is just getting started. So just get down on the floor, do 30 seconds each leg. I promise you tight hamstrings are probably the cause of half of your stiffness problems. I hate stretching, but I promise you it'll change your life. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, and I really
I love
like
everybody.
I like the Vikings this week -7. That's my lock of the week. So there you go.
You taking it back to football?
I don't know. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Listen, stretching is not fun. Who likes to stretch? But you are right.
Nobody does. That's why I'm telling people, listen, if you're listening right now and you're on a Zoom call at work and your mic is off, your camera's off, no one's going to see you stretching while your CFO talks about how accounts receivable is not where it needs to be. Home Depot isn't paying. Oh, great. I just ruined a Home Depot sponsorship. I didn't mean anything by that, Home Depot. I just grabbed, yeah.
I just got a question for you, Elliot.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a lion stretch before taking down a gazelle? There you go. You don't need to worry about it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. Well, while you're roaring into Ross buying that sweater, we'll yeah.
Whoa,
okay. Let's talk
Ross. We're the TJ Maxx family here, buddy.
Okay. So let's talk about, so I've had some Twitter followers tell me to not defer to you on anything anymore, picks wise, which I am.
It's good advice.
It's solid advice. But I do like to give you what's kind of going on in my mind so our listeners can hear too, that again, I only want to bet on one game. That's the way I like to do it. You like to put, and there's no right or wrong way. Sometimes the teaser works out really great, right? Mm-hmm. I just want to pick one that I love the most. So I like to give you the games that I love the most, 2 or 3 of them, and let our listeners hear kind of what I'm debating in my head. So one would be the Rams to cover the 13-point spread. I think they're going to bounce back. I don't trust Jacksonville's offense. That game's at SoFi. Okay. The New England Buffalo under. Is there any way you see that score being 30-28? No. I don't. I don't at all. And then also the Jets Eagles under. I don't trust the Eagles offense to put up 24 points. I don't expect what was the Eagles score last week against the Giants?
13-7.
13-7, right? Yeah. And so those are the 3 that I'm debating, but I know you don't typically like unders. So what do you think of those 3 candidates right there?
I like that a lot. I think that those are all good bets. Can I give you my teaser of the week? Are you ready? Yeah, let's do it. All right. So this is a 7-point teaser, which will pay plus 130. You bet $100, you'll win $130. So I'm teasing the Bucks, Steelers, and Rams. So which that means is now it's the Bucks to win by more than 4. It's the Steelers to keep it within 11 against the Ravens, which they absolutely will. That's a home game for them. Yeah. And then the Rams to win by 5.5. So basically, will they win by a touchdown? That seems pretty straightforward. If you want to get a little crazy, you can boost up the Patriots Bills over under to now it's 50. I don't see any way there's 50 points in that game. And now you're getting plus 200 odds. So 2-1. I like all of those together.
I think that's great, man. Okay. So the line now on Rams Jags is 12.5, huh? It was 13.
Yep.
Okay.
We got a little bit of
movement,
which so I'm still taking the Rams there.
So it's either for me right now. I kind of don't want to ruin New England Bills by like having that be my $10,000 bet, because as a football fan, I just love that. So it's between.
I'll take the Rams with you. You want to do the Rams? I think that's the fun bet this week.
Yeah, let's do the Rams. Yeah. I was thinking the Jets. I know you hate the under. It's just, man, can't you see the Jets Eagles game being 17-13, man?
Yeah.
What was the over under on that? I think it was 43.5 or
45.
Like
45.
That is too high.
That's too high. I agree with you.
Yeah. Maybe I would do a parlay with a compass and protractor and all that stuff you always talk about. Yeah. With the TI-81 graphing calculator. Oh, wait, you didn't have a TI-81 because you went to school in like 2017.
We had the TI-83, buddy.
Oh, you had the TI-83. Oh, you upgraded. Yeah. Sweet. All right, man. I think that's all I got. I gave you my health. Look, I know stretching isn't fun, everybody.
You're right. No, you're right.
If you're really stiff, normally it's the hamstrings. If you just get down on the floor with your dog, stretch your legs out. You don't even have to touch your toe. Okay. Just do it. I promise.
I agree with you.
All right. He's at Marcus_Mosher. I'm at Harrison NFL. We love you. Rate our podcast. We've got all 5s. Keep it going. We'll see you Friday.